How do you know you're on track to doing $1 million? I guess you could look at your bank account, but other than that, how do you know you're on track to do $1 million?
How'd you do that?
I see that success is not something you pursue, it is something you are.
All right, so you're building your business, you're building your speaking business, you're getting on stages, but how do you know you're on track to actually doing $1 million? Well, you got to think in terms of metrics. So you got to think, what key metrics are you tracking? And the key metrics really determine on what your specific goals are. So I see a lot of people doing Facebook Live, just Facebook Live videos in general, but they're not measuring anything, so they don't know what results they're producing. So they're just creating a Facebook Live video, and there's no measurements, no metrics whatsoever, and so they don't get on stages, they don't build their business, and you always got to think in terms of the metrics. What metrics are the most important metrics for you to accomplish this goal that you want to accomplish? And so, for example, if you're building a YouTube page, you're building your YouTube following, you got to think, okay, what's the metric that would be the main metric to show that, hey, you're on track to doing $1 million, other than you just seeing money in your bank account. The metric for YouTube would be in terms of views. So the more views you get on YouTube, the more likely you can actually build this following in terms of the subscribers. So if you say, I want, I don't know, 1 million subscribers, then you constantly look at the views on your YouTube channel. And that's the main metric that you're looking at. And you think, you always got to ask yourself, how can I double this every month? So if you say, okay, I got 100 views on this video, well, how can I double it to 200? How can I get it to 400? How can I get it to 800? And you just double it. So you're looking at the metrics like that. Or maybe you want to pay attention to revenue, because revenue is a really important metric. So you got to ask yourself, if you made $5,000 this month, how can you double it next month? If you made $10,000, how can you double it the month after that? If you made $20,000, how can you double it the month after that? If you think in terms of how can I double this, well, it causes you to think in terms of what specific activity can I engage in that's going to double what the end result, that's going to double the goal that I want to produce. So if you think in terms of doubling, you constantly link a specific activity to the end goal. And you know, okay, me working on my logo, that's just a waste of time, because that's not going to produce, it's not going to cause me to go from $10,000 to $20,000. So what you think in terms of is, okay, I need to go from $10,000 to $20,000, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to prospect more. Right now, I only talk with 2 people a month, so maybe I'll start talking with 10 people. And so you end up changing your numbers to meet the end goal. So that's essentially how you know that you're going to actually, you're on track to doing $1 million in terms of just sales in general. And you got to think in terms of, you're not going to get a different outcome by doing the same things that you're constantly doing. And I see this all the time. People say, oh, I want to get on more stages. Oh, I want to make more money. I want to do this. But they refuse. They refuse to do anything different. They refuse to think in terms of, oh, maybe I should change something, because when I change something, I'll get a different result. And so if you want to be on track to doing $1 million, you got to think, what's the key metric that I need to pay attention to, and what's the action, the activity that's going to constantly be linked up with this metric. When I engage in this activity consistently, just non-stop, when I double my activity here or triple or whatever, it's going to double or triple the revenue or whatever goal that I want to accomplish. And the goal, like I said, it doesn't have to be revenue. Maybe you just want to increase your subscribers. Maybe you want to do a video and you have, I don't know, 500 views on it, and now your next video you want to get 2,000 views. So you got to think, okay, what's the activity that's going to cause that to happen? And so the way you know that you're on track to doing $1 million in sales is to look at the key metrics that's going to cause that $1 million to happen. And when you do make your $1 million, I want 99% of it just because I asked.